Hello fans of Marvel Heroes and friends of my channel, welcome to another episode of Q&A. My name is Wilfred, I play the game, also talk a little bit about the game, and today's topic is about the result on the cube shard farming. So I'd like to share my finding with you, analysis and so on. It would not be something too controversial because I'm sure a lot of you who has experience in farming will probably agree with some of these numbers and so on, but I thought it's good to share with the new players as well, or those who are interested in looking at a number. So I've got quite a number of topics I'd like to cover before the server goes down, and so now the boost that I'm talking about is this one here, which I've already kind of like show you guys a couple of times, and I'm just going to get some of this as well myself because every day I'm trying to get some, and to also see what is inside, whether I can open up like a costume in front of your eyes or not. Some of you are looking for the Wolverine costume as well. So yeah, I mean, let's see whether I'm lucky or not. But I also want to show you that this kind of fortune card, sometimes you get all these boxes. All these boxes are not really boost at all, and they are pretty lousy actually. So from my experience, every 8 of them, I usually get one of those cases or 2 of these cases and so on. And it's kind of important in terms of my analysis itself. So now, just to recap a little bit here, I mean, I understand that you can do both the red and the green terminals so as to gain the cube shard. So for those who are rather new or just want to make sure that we are on the same page, is that we have something here, the terminal here. All this will reward a cube shard. You can do like a heroic and you can do a normal. Both of them will reward cube shard. And thanks for your tips is that right now the whole thing is bugged. Actually, it's bugged since January 2017. So after the biggest update ever, the bug is there, whereby you can't really tell whether you have completed a terminal in terms of obtaining the shard when you're doing red. But when you're doing green, it will be gone, even though you have the shard for red. So the advice is that do the red first, do it like in one by one, and after that, after you complete it, then you switch to green, so at least you can see what you have done, what you may not have done. It's kind of bad though, because if you are leveling, getting the legendary quest and so on, then be prepared to use a pen or paper and just write down whether you've done the red version. Then after that you can do a green version if the same legendary quest pop up for the terminal. It's kind of poor. This kind of bug has been around for quite some time, but I don't think it's a high priority for them because why would they help you to get more efficient in farming shards when you have to pay for the boost? All right, so that's my take to it. Now a couple of other things as well is that I don't know whether I should say it or not, because the last time I say something like this here on the channel, then usually Marvel Heroes or Gazillion would take some action to it. Like for example, I've talked about the fortune card that when 2 accounts via Steam log in, and you can pick the same card for the coupon, although the coupon value may not be the same, but the same card will always give you coupon and stuff like that. And then guess what? Immediately after 1 or 2 days, the bug is gone. So so I always a little bit conscious about what to say in this channel. Although yeah. So but anyway, I was being told that some heroes like Blade is very very good at one-shotting the bosses in the terminal. So if you are kind of like wanting farm cube shard, want to be fast as well, then perhaps Blade is one option for you. I don't know whether this is the right approach or not, because at the end of the day, this game is still in like an open beta right now. You've seen in the patch note, hero get buff and nerf big time either way. So it's one of those things that eventually I'm sure Gazillion will realize and do something about it. Because I think the philosophy now is nerf, 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 and nerf. In the past was power creep though. A lot of interesting discussion because which one is better, which one is worse, right? If say Gazillion, knowing Gazillion is not good at balancing hero, it's just not in their DNA to balance hero, then which one is better, power creep or just nerf and nerf and nerf? I personally think that power creep is better because at least you feel that those who are having fun are still having fun, and those are not having fun will have a chance to have fun. And eventually, when majority of heroes are pretty powerful, power creep, so as to say, then you just buff all the enemy across the board, and then after that, everything reset back to normal again, and let the cycle continue. Because nerfing always give a lot of unpleasant kind of like emotion to it. All right. So now another thing I would like to just talk about is that a lot of people ask me, believe it or not, right? A lot of people ask me in YouTube as well as in Steam, how do I travel like this one? how do I travel, right? I mean, all they know is that I want charge, 2 charge, 3 charge, and I'm gone, right? How do I travel? Well, to travel, you have to open up your options there, and one of the key binding is called travel, and mine is equal because I map it to my MMO mouse. I've got like a 12 button on the side, so I can press one button and it will just move, and I don't need the keyboard, like that kind of thing. So be sure that you understand where the power is. It's really unfortunate though they cannot drag and drop one of these things inside here. I cannot understand why, because not everybody want to maximize their potential in terms of this hotbar here. Some may just want to, why not have a ride here, because ride does damage as well. Why can't I drag and drop here, right? You can't. And this is one of those things that really kind of baffle me, because I talked to my friends as well, and I also read the Steam review. One of the most useful review was from one dad or one father who is commenting after the biggest update, his kids are not enjoying the game anymore, because the kids will ask him, why am my hero not able to jump anymore? Why can't my hero keep moving and stuff like that? Where are all my PowerPoints, or where is my robot? One of the comment was that, where's my robot? The robot is not there anymore. The dad was saying that, well, now you have to level up in order to get a robot and stuff like that. So. And I was talking to my friend Straight Dupe, also in my guild, and I said, well, you have 3 kids also playing Marvel Heroes, right? And how do you cope with that? And to be frank, they all hated it because the mobility update is the very first thing they really hate, because they say, oh, my heart cannot jump anymore. Well, you can. You have to go and mentally remember which one reset what, right? It is fun for us, maybe. It's really fun because we say, oh, it's a lot of interaction. You do this power A, B, and C, and then you reset, gain more charges. Try to tell that to a kid, right? Try to tell that to someone who's 10 years old. No one will understand those. I mean, well, maybe 10 years old is quite smart. My niece was like, 4 or 5 years old, and she was playing my Black Panther, and she oh, panda, and just keep running and keep hitting one button, right? People like it. There aren't many ARPG, in my opinion, that are rather kid friendly, right? Because this game, they don't really swear. The hero don't swear in this team. No blood and gore like Path of Exile. No one get killed inside, just get defeated, disappear, kind of thing. So I thought, it's really good that they could have capitalize on the market for the younger adult, or teenager, or even younger than that. But anyhow, they are not really all these changes. But anyway, just to say that if you would like to do a travel power, just use your whatever mapping that you have just now. I show you. Press a button and it will just move like me. But there's a charge up time to it, and once you get interrupted, you have to charge up again. So be mindful of that. All right, so I've got some announcement here. Very quick announcement is that if you are a friend of me in Steam, could you please just drop a message to me, have a conversation, and probably tell me who you are, what stuff like that. Why? Because I only have a limit of 250 friends in Steam right now, and because I don't play a lot of games, I don't really get a level up in Steam, kind of silly, right? Because I only play one game, a couple of games, really a lot of hours, like thousands of hours, but those doesn't count as a level up. In order to level up, you have to have more games, more achievements, stuff like that. I don't have it. So my friend list is full. I'm just randomly sort of dropping people from my friend list. My apologies if I drop you, and if you are constantly, kind of like, I try not to drop people whom I've talked to in recent times. So if you like to, remain as my friend, drop me a note, and I put a nickname against you and kind of thing like, oh, this guy is from Canada and he loves Marvel Heroes too. Something like that. That's how I remember who you are, kind of thing. So something like that would be nice. Thank you. So that's one. Another thing is that I use Rook to play the red terminal, and I realized that the time is very, very poor sometimes and very, very good sometimes. And I suspect it's something to do with my latency. Nothing I can do about it, because if I play other games like Path of Exile, my latency in Singapore right now is about maybe 10, 13 milliseconds. I think here last time when this one was working is telling me like 400 milliseconds. So it could be lag that my heroes keep missing. I don't know, because I can't explain why in some scenario my Rook could nearly one-shot some bosses, while in some scenario, even after 2 signature, the boss is still around. It just doesn't make sense for a red boss. So I suspect it was a latency that affect, which is kind of sad, because I can gear for the best I could, But if latency is the one that is something that I cannot beat. Bosses I can beat, but latency I can't. So it's one of those things that this game doesn't really have a gateway, local gateway somewhere that's outside US, or helping people down south to play the game a little bit better. Okay, so now a couple other tips from you all is that the currency boost actually is rather nice as well. So anything that's like the currency boost, I think I spoke too fast in a sense that I said, well, this one is useless, and in a sense that it is useless for this feature that I have here, because this is a feature that Gazillion has built in to entice us to go through the content, even as we feel bored and say, wow, what for killing the mafia like thousands of times in any way? No challenge at all, but still we do it for the sake of doing it. But with this feature turned on, then I can play the game better. So that's what I meant by saying that the other currency is kind of useless. It's not really useless in that sense. It is just that it unlocks new feature that I can play, like the shield boost. So this is something that I'm looking for, and not something else like the currency. But I heard that currency is something that you could also make money from if you do the right thing, and you can actually make it back. But I can't really visualize how you're going to make it back, in a sense that maybe Gazillion may close a loop somehow, because imagine this: if you pay $6 US dollar to get 5 stack of currency, or after that you can make it back doing the end game content, make it back and even more, then why do people even need to pay for boost, right? In a sense, so I don't know. It doesn't seem exactly make sense to me. So that's all, and that is about it, and I'm going to share with you the result here. So the result here is rather interesting. I think many of you can relate to the result. Is that if you are playing this the farming for the terminals, then these are the red bosses, by the way. There's a variant to it, because sometimes the bosses just took so long to kill, I don't know why, and versus some others. So I would say the terminal that are less than, say, 1 minute, or there about 1 minute-ish, are the Taskmaster, Hood, Magneto, Juggernaut, and Sinister, Shocker. So these are the one that's roughly there. Now I presume Octopus should be somewhere here as well. I can't understand why I had 2 rounds of signature. I couldn't kill Octopus while Taskmaster is being killed by one signature, right? So I do not understand. I cannot comprehend. But I would think that if you don't have time to play the game that much, you just want to go in for like maybe 15 minutes or so, then you can do the low-hanging fruit like Taskmaster, Hood, Magneto, Juggernaut, Sinister, even Octopus. I think Shocker. Those are the one that they're about 1 minute each boss. Green Terminal, of course, is a little bit faster as well. Then if you have little extra time, say I don't mind the kind of like grinding, and I can do like if you spend like less than 2 minutes kind of thing, Kingpin, Modok, Mandarin, Curse, those are one that you could do. Highly not recommended are the Doom, Ultron, and the Scroll Invasion, because how do you pronounce it, by the way? It's like KLRT. How do you pronounce KLRT? Okay, my wife is like looking at me. She's a bit blurred. It's like Klurt. No. So I wouldn't really do this one unless you're really desperate and you got nothing better to do. Even so, I mean, I would say just watch YouTube or something like that rather than spending so much time farming all these things. Maybe watch my channel. Maybe not. Okay, anyway, so onto the currency itself. It's rather interesting is that I'm looking at the currency that I've got open. I opened the fortune card, and all these are currency that I've got. I haven't exchanged any boosts at all. So what I have here, the 36 kind of items here, are really from the Mark 1 fortune card, right? They are not one that I exchanged from the existing boost. I've exchanged 0 right now. So I observed that out of 36 I've got, about 40% are the shield one, which is the good one. 25% is the currency. The rest of it are XP and also combo. Combo is the one that have 3 of them. So combo is pretty rare. I can understand. It's one of the highest value. Shield is the second highest value as well. So at least they're kind of fair, right? From a card perspective, rather than the highest one is the one that's cheapest in the shop, which is the currency. The highest one actually is shield. Maybe I'm lucky. I do not know. But looking at this statistic here, with the kind of limited statistic, of course, I would say that if you look at for each Mark 1 fortune card, there are cases whereby you could get like a chest of infinity point, or you could get something like the like if you're lucky, get a pet or costume or whatnot. But it is not 100% of the time that they will drop a boost. So in that regard, I would say, I worked out probably 1 out of 8 card, not the boost related one. So I say, assuming chance to drop a boost is 88%, then the chance for me to get a shield or a combo boost from one card is actually about 40%, right? So then I look into it. Well, the cube shard required for each Mark 1 fortune card is 10, and so I require about 26 cube shard to get 1 shield boost, depending on my the history I've got. And to get 5, because there's no point using 1 boost, you should use 5 boosts to get the maximum effect over the maximum duration. So I would need 129 the cube shard in order to get 5 stacks of shield booster. So in a sense, the maximum cube shard I can farm a day is 28, and the time required, I know some of you can be very fast, like maybe 40 minutes to do that. Depends on which hero, and depends on latency as well. I say maybe perhaps 45 minutes, because I spent about 25 minutes trying to farm all these bosses for the red, and I think green will be faster as well. So maybe for me, 45 minutes. In between, I make tea and just drain tea and probably talk to my wife. Sometimes my wife asks me stuff, and I need to comfort my wife because she's like low health in World of Warcraft right now, maybe going to die somehow, the character. So say about 45 minutes, which is 0.75 hours. Approximate time to gain 5 boost, which is about 3.5 hours. So you have the grind for 3.5 hours over about 5 days each, and then you get a boost, and the boost will allow you to play for 2.5 hours. So you spend 3.5 hours playing all these red and green terminal, which to me is very no challenge at all, of course. But then with that, then you can have the boost to do something else that is more fun or better. And I think maybe in closing, a lot of time people say that the boost is actually not that good. But I always counter propose something else, because of course, as and when you accumulate the points in order to get the boost, you kill enemies. But at least you are motivated. You see progress in order to get the enemy, get a box. But versus someone like me who never use a boost in this new feature, I can never see progress. And yeah, sure, things drops. But what's the motivation in a sense when we could have something feature like that turn on even for those who may not have boost? Which I kind of agree with one of you who proposed in YouTube, saying that perhaps instead of maybe like a 10% boost, like fundamental base value is 10%. So you still see progress as you go. But I think it's a very slippery slope somewhere, because at the end of the day, what is pay to win and what is pay for power, or what is pay to play? If everything is just too good, if the business model is built around that thing, then they have to honor the whole thing, which means that you have to pay for all these things, right? So in any case, that's all. Short video. I'm not going to play too much right now. Server's shutting down. So hope you enjoy whatever you're doing. All right. So see you next time. Goodbye.